Tonight, we also honor a San Francisco elected official, District Attorney George Gascón, with the Chairman's Award for his outstanding leadership to make all communities safer. He is the first Latino to hold the office in San Francisco and the nation's first former police chief to become a district attorney. District Attorney Gascón has focused on making San Francisco the safest large city in America by working to implement a modern justice system that focuses on crime prevention, victims, and violent offenders. For all of these reasons and more, on behalf of the Latino Leaders Network, I'm proud to present the Chairman's Award to San Francisco District Attorney George Gascón. Antonio? Okay.
You know, I just want to say a few words, but I couldn't help as I'm looking around the room. There's so many people that have meant a great deal to me. But before I say that, I want to thank Mickey for the wonderful work with the Latino Leaders Network, and my friend Ruben, who, when I was in Arizona, was a great supporter and continues to be a friend and a supporter. But you know, as I heard Antonio Villaraigosa talk about the work that so many have done, and you know, we had this moment of silence for people that were the victims of racism in our country recently. And I heard Mayor Johnson talk about the work that our Mayor Garcetti in LA did when he encountered the problems with the person that owned the Lakers at the time. And I can't help but reflect that when I was in Arizona, I don't know if Mayor Smith is still here from Mesa, but we faced some significant problems there, and it really wasn't that long ago. In fact, the leader of a lot of this work, still the sheriff of Maricopa County, and we had a place where people, just purely because of the color of the skin, in this case being brown, were being arrested, and they were being held sometimes for hours before they could prove that they had the lawful authority to be in this country. And while many of them were unauthorized immigrants, interestingly enough, some were U.S. citizens. And then I move forward and I get recruited. I come to San Francisco as a chief of police, and later I become the elected district attorney. And very recently, here in our very own city, we encounter text messages that were being traded by San Francisco police officers describing African Americans as monkeys, as animals, talking about members of the LGBT community as people that deserve to die, and using not so very kind words to refer to Latinos and Asians. And I can't help but reflect that we still have a lot of work to do. And you know, I just flew in from Mexico City a couple of hours ago, where I was invited by the Mexican government to help in the reforming of their legal system. And during those conversations, as I was talking to top officials there, and many were talking about the words of a candidate for the presidency of the United States, as he referred to building walls and further segregating American society. And I can't help but reflect that we still have a lot of work to do. So while I am extremely honored for receiving this award, and I'm very thankful, and I have to tell you that both Eric and Antonio and I go back a long way. I remember when Antonio first came back from state government to run the 14th district of city council in LA, and how we worked together. And I remember Eric running for the very first time and actually walking districts for him. And as I was mentioning earlier, I was raised in Southeast LA, an immigrant, speaking language as a second language. And I can't help but feel extremely proud, but also extremely concerned of what we are today. And it's really an important time for good people of all colors, whether you're black, white, brown, Asian, whether you're gay, it doesn't really matter whether you're an immigrant or not. Good people have to come together, and we have to stand for the right thing. And if we don't, thank you. And if we don't, evil will win. When one of us is under assault, whether that person happens to be a member of another race of your own, we're all under assault. Good people cannot look the other way. You know, there was a time, not that long ago, where an entire nation decided that they were going to look the other way, and 6 million Jews lost their life. At the same time, in this very nation, we were putting Japanese Americans in concentration camps. We cannot look the other way. We have to fight, and we have to stand for what is right. Thank you very much.